All right, Mason. The way we're gonna flow is I have like a little stack of movements for you. So I have some hip movements, I have some thoracic or kind of spine work, and then we got some hamstring. Because if your lower back is building up some pressure, it could be collected between the hips, the hamstrings, not just the lower back being the issue. So we'll start off with some hip work. Some of these things we do in our warm up, so they'll be pretty familiar. So we're gonna do a 90-90 flow, which is back legs angle at 90, front legs angle at 90. You're gonna take that back leg, drive your knee into the ground, and then pick your foot up. You're gonna get 3 lifts in with that foot coming up, and then 3 lifts in with the knee coming up. You're gonna go back and forth between that 3, 3, 3, 3. Once you get 3 and 3 on both those ways, you're gonna lean into the front leg for a 3 count, and then come back out. You're gonna get through at least 3 full rounds on one side before we switch sides, right? So you're working internal, external rotation of the hip, right? Knee goes down, foot comes up, external, internal as we go into here, and then we'll blade to the front foot, right? So 3 rounds on one side and you'll pass it to be the goal. From there, you have a hip snapper. This is a little bit of an aggressive stretch. Once you get settled into it, it's not that bad, man. You're gonna start off face first on the ground. You're gonna swing a leg straight out to the side. Whatever leg's out to the side is usually the one we're gonna be opening up. We're pushing ourselves back, and then you're visibly gonna drop into a seated position here. So your end goal is to create a wide gap between the front knee and the back knee. You'll feel it a little bit in this hip. You'll also feel it in this hamstring of this straight leg as well, right? It's called a hip snapper stretch. This may be very uncomfortable to get into at first. If that angle or that just in general is too much to get into at first, you can mimic it without doing the same setup. You'll just go, one knee is folded, one leg is opened up. I highly recommend you to do what I just did though in the hip snapper position. Swing the leg out and sit back into it. It makes a big difference on the intensity of the stretch. From there, you got flamingos, which is another hip one. So your flamingos, balance is going to be key. So one knee on the ground, closing legs and a stack in front. You are overlapping. So front leg is overlapping in front. From here, we're going to drop this knee towards the ground, plant our hands on the ground, and then sit into it. You're not going to physically let this knee touch the ground. It's going to hover off the ground over time. You're just adding weight on here, using your hands to manipulate how much weight you have, and focus on your breath. Your knee will get closer and closer to the ground the longer you're into the stretch. Your goal is to let it hover off the ground the whole time, right? You'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you get there because you're going to feel your hip get pretty tight pretty quickly on that one. From there, you got your doorway hip opener. So I don't have a doorway, but I have So whether you use a doorway or a physical box, you're trying to anchor your foot up to something. So it is close as you can to it. From here, whatever leg is on it, whatever leg is closest to the opening, you're gonna stack the foot up flat against the wall, and you are just pushing the leg outwards. It's very identical to how you're doing like a figure 4 stretch, like this, right? But instead of having this foot up on the wall, you're gonna mount this foot on the wall and focusing on opening the door up and then closing the door. Open the door up and then close the door. The closer your butt is to the physical wall, the more intense it's gonna get. If you don't feel much of a stretch happening here, we can do a figure 4 utilizing the wall. So we'll take the foot and flatten it up against the wall, drive the foot in, hand on the knee, push it away, 1, 2, pull it into you, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You just want a solid surface that you can anchor yourself onto on that one. So those are gonna be your hip ones. So 90-90 flow, you got the hip snapper, we got a flamingo, and then we got the door hip opener, right? All great for the hips, cycle them in. You're going for at least 3 rounds of each movement. You don't have to do them all at once. You can pick like 1 or 2 at a time. Just, make sure you get through about 3 rounds as you go. From there, we're gonna go into more of like thoracic or spine, shoulder stuff. So we'll go into a banded cat-cow. We do them in warm-ups all the time. If you got a resistance band, awesome. If not, you can do it with a solid band. It's just gonna make it a little bit more intense. So the band's gonna go back behind the shoulder blades, elbows are on the band, tabletop position, pop the hips and looking up, tucking the hips and separating the shoulder blades. Popping, bringing the shoulder blades together, separating, exhale, squeeze, release. The band is just gonna intensify the stretch a little bit. It's not gonna make or break it, so if you don't have the band at home, you can just use your body weight, go from there. When you're in facility, feel free to grab a red band, throw it behind you to work into that one. let's see, we got a half prayer stretch, which is kind of like a child's pose, but you're gonna come down to your elbows. So in a kneeling position here, elbows are resting on the ground, hands are gonna rest back by these shoulders, and you are sitting back into it. Hold it, 1, 2, release back out to it, sit back into it, 1, 2, release back out of it. You're kind of working your way in and out of it, or rocking your way in and out of it. From there, we got paddlers, which is going to be a little bit more of like spine, hamstring, and hip. Straight leg position. Lean forward or bend forward, I should say. So bend the spine, hands on the shins. You are going to point one foot forward and pull the other one back towards you. And then flip it back and forth. Boom. So it's like you're paddling from side to side. One foot is pushing forward. The other one is pulling back. Your hands to the back and back. Make sure your legs are locked out the whole time. Knees are pressing into the ground as you go. Okay. From there, we got right backs. This one, you can either use a med ball, I have one handy, or you can use just a pillow or a blanket. You need something that's gonna lift your back up off the ground. You'll also need a small weight. You'll line it up with the wall, right next to mid portion of the spine. Butt should be in contact with the ground. Arms are gonna lock out. You're gonna inhale, let that weight pull your arms back behind you, and then exhale as you drive back to the side. Inhaling as you reach the back, exhaling as you're pulling up. You need something that's gonna keep your back lifted off the ground, and you need a weight that's gonna pull you back slightly as you stop where the range of motion works for you. Hopefully you can get your biceps past your head as you're going, and then reset back to the top. All right, those are called right backs. From there, you got a wall twist. This one, I don't have a wall in front of me, but I'm gonna show you what it looks like. You're just gonna do it up against the wall. So you're in a seated position. So imagine this is a wall right behind me. Get to the bottom of the squat. You're gonna go left arm down and then try to take your right arm up as far as you can up the wall. Walk your fingers up the wall, walk it back down, and then pass it from side to side. You're physically using the wall to kind of walk your fingertips up it to kind of intensify the stretch and get a little bit more out of it. You can do it without a wall if you get stuck in position, just like I did, but I'd say the wall makes a little bit of a difference on that one. From there, we have wind screens, which we do these all the time for lower back. So you're gonna be fully flat on the ground. One leg is straight to the ground, the other one is straight in the air. You're gonna take this leg and drop it over to the opposing side. Let the weight pull you over, then bring it back to the center. Repeat on the opposite side. You're cycling back and forth here. Try to keep your shoulders in contact with the ground. Gaze is up to the ceiling, only through the hips and the torso where you feel that tilt over from side to side. Right, so those are a handful of thoracic ones. There's a lot more of those ones just because it hits different parts of the back as you go. Hamstring stretches. There's nothing too crazy on here for the hamstring stretches. So we got banded hamstring stretches. You can do this with a stretching band, like a resistance band, or a physical, like yoga stretching band. Either or works. But you're gonna put it around the ball of your foot, lie flat. One leg is locked out on the ground, one leg is locked out in the air. You are actively pulling the band down as you push your toe away, and then pull it back in toward you. Push the toe out, and then pull it back in. So we're gonna keep it kind of active through the calf here, keeping this leg as straight as you can and pulling it back as far as you can get with comfort. If it starts to build up a little bit too much tension, activate it, go into the stretch, hold it for 1, 2, come out of the stretch. All right, simple flow. We're just trying to keep the leg straight and the toe curled in towards you. So you're getting the full calf stretch in there as it reaches into the hamstring. Standing hamstring stretch, we'll use our box here that we got. So box, chair, sofa, anything you can elevate yourself up. You need something to be at least knee height here. You're kicking the leg up, bending the foot that's on the ground so you have something to stabilize on. Opposing leg is gonna be locked out, toe is curled in towards you, and you are pushing the hips backwards. You're not bending over through the spine, right? We wanna feel everything through the hamstring. So push your hips back. You'll feel it start to stretch out right underneath your glute, all the way to the back of the knee and into the calf, and then reset it. If you angle your toe in different positions, so if you take your toe and point it outwards, and then hinge over, you're gonna feel a little bit more of this inner hamstring and adductor. If you take the toe and turn it outwards and hinge over, you'll feel a little bit more of the outer side, right? So how you twist your toe, whether it's straight on to the right or to the left, will make a difference of how you're engaging the hamstring as you're going. From there, you got an A stance, which is exactly what it sounds like. You're making a big A, right? So legs are as wide as you can get with comfort, hopefully just a little bit wider than like a sumo stance. And then you are hinging over as you trace your hands down your legs, find the range and just focus on the breath here. Once you get to the bottom, collapse the shoulders, relax the head, take a few deep breaths if you need to, walk your hands into the inside and build yourself back up again. Right? So it's a lot of different movements here. I would say try to pick maybe 2 of each daily, right? Pick 2 hips, pick 2 more of the spines, pick 2 of the hamstrings. You have a lot more thoracic ones than you do have hamstring and hip ones. So we're just going to kind of reuse and repeat it. But big difference as you go. Questions, let me know. Anything like that, give me a holler next time you're in a session. Hopefully this will help out with the lower back.